off script a little bit for this video, and I'm just gonna let you know what it's like to be a realtor and share with you some of the crazy stories, and you don't want to miss it. What was I thinking when I decided to become a real estate agent? You may not believe these stories, but hopefully I will get an LOL in the comments below. Note that I've managed to avoid having a heart attack, but pretty sure I was close a couple times. Let's start at the beginning. We all have a good excuse, note that I say excuse like it wasn't my own free will, for doing what we do. But my real estate career started when I moved to the Indianapolis area, and after a breakup, and you all know what I'm talking about, and that's a whole nother other subject, I wanted to buy my own home. That was back in the day when you could pick up a magazine in the grocery store that had what I thought were all the homes for sale. It was actually, that wasn't true. It was only the homes that the agents decided to pay for the ads for the listings. But I digress. I thought I wanted a condo. I found one and I contacted the listing agent. Unfortunately, it was a discount company with lots of listings and few agents and no service, and that's why they were discount. After many calls trying to figure out what was going on, the day of closing was almost here. That said person from whom the breakup was occurring, yeah, you gotta give credit where credit is due, told me I should be able to do a walkthrough before closing. Really? That's a good idea. So I call the no service company and they tell me to go on over. What did I know? So I went on over, only to find the current owner having some sort of seance. The pot smell and smoke was so overpowering that I was pretty sure I was high, and I didn't even get past the front door. I immediately called the no service company and told them I didn't want to buy the condo, and they told me, okay, but I'd lose my interest money. What was that? I didn't know I had earnest money to lose. And guess what? I didn't. They never collected it. So I walked away with all my dollars still in my pocket. That was the good news. So back to the grocery for another magazine. And yes, I'm old. It's been many years since those were around. And anyway, this time, of course, being the savvy buyer that I was, I picked a home that had an open house the next weekend, and off I went. I did meet a nice agent, about my age at that time, who seemed to know her stuff. Finally, I did find another home with her, not a condo, and not the one from the open house, and the deal went through. Woohoo! Now I was a homeowner on my own. And note, I still live in that home today. So back to the excuse. You just heard it. I figured it couldn't be that difficult to be a real estate agent. So I went to school, passed my test, and voila, I was a realtor. And as most people know, real estate school doesn't really teach you much about selling real estate, and it's not as easy as you may think. Every deal is different with a different set of circumstances. That's why your agent has your back and carries the liability insurance. Anyway, this is not a rant on why you should use an agent, a good agent, but about some of my experiences that made me say, are you kidding? Let's start with the I love you story. And as a teaser, know that those words were spoken in the owner's bedroom. I always announce myself when entering a home by saying, hello, realtor, and I have always had an appointment. So at this particular residence, when I said, hello, realtor, there was a faint hello back. The owners were still living there, but were supposed to be out of the home for the showing. Anyway, my clients and I proceeded to tour the lower level with no indication that there was anyone there. However, on the way up to the stairs to the second level bedrooms, I said, hello, realtor, and there was an even louder hello response. We went through the 3 bedrooms before making our way to the owner's suite when we heard another hello. Needless to say, I was very, very nervous to enter their bedroom. All kinds of things go through your mind. And yes, I watch too much true crime. So I was afraid we might find someone hurt and dying or maybe held against their will. But to my great surprise, there is a very large white cockatiel in a very large cage. When the pretty bird saw me, it said, "I love you." My clients and I cracked up laughing and were much, much relieved. Figured the owners had a good relationship or spent a lot of time talking to the bird. I did also think the agent should have told us in the listing to prevent heart attacks, but that's just me. Did you guess what was going on? If you did, you're quicker than me. I had no idea. Next up is the only time I've pulled my gun during a showing. And yes, I have a permit to carry. Anyway, I was showing an investor a possible investment property that was supposed to be vacant. We looked around the upstairs. We're in the kitchen when we heard a sound coming from the basement. I'm not big on dingy basements to begin with, and especially if they are making noise. On my way down with my gun pulled, held with 2 hands out in front of me, the smell of recently smoked weed was a sure sign that there were squatters who were very possibly high. See a theme here? Anyway, not wanting to break up the party or accidentally shoot anyone, I asked my clients how interested were they really in this property. The answer was really not at all. So we just all left quickly, and I immediately called the list agent to let them know what was going on. The last story amongst all the craziness is the time I about killed my client by throwing him down the stairs. I'd worked with this client for quite a while, so when I tell you I was walking up a stairs in front of him, don't pull the Realtor safety handbook out and read the paragraph on always keep yourself between your client and the front door and never, ever go up the stairs first. I get it. But that wasn't anything I was concerned about with this client at that point. Anyway, he probably did wish he'd gone up first. So what happened? Well, on the way up to the attic, and that was via permanent stairs, the door and a permanent stairs that go to an attic, I saw what I thought was a piece of asphalt roofing. Picked it up with the intention of telling my client that we may find an issue with the roof when the piece of roofing made an accordion motion, and I suddenly realized that I'd picked up a dead bat by its wing. Needless to say, fight or flight took over, and it was flight. I screamed and tried to scramble back down the stairs. Lucky for me, my client reacted, held me up for a second, turned and ran down the stairs with me, and then asked me, "What the heck happened?" Of course, I was a bit mortified and offered to make another trip up the stairs, which we did. Carefully stepping over the dead bat, however. Gotta tell you though, I was uber alert to the possibility of finding more dead bats. Luckily, there was only the one. And to think I could have caused my client to fall down the stairs, and or both of us could have had heart attacks. Side note, I did find him an awesome home, but not that one. That's it for this episode of Crazy Realtor Stories. Subscribe below so you can hear the upcoming stories about the cat house, more squatters, and who is in that bed. My name is Susan Roberts with Homes by Roberts Realty, brokered by EXP. Signing off. See you in the next video.